tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we've got two teams who come in with identical records on the season. It's the Titans going up against the Texans. With that, let's get you out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 9 matchup.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans. Mariota on first down. Complete to Amaro on the right side. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make this a second down. As we get a glance at the starting lineup offensively, let's discuss the former Heisman Trophy winner, Derrick Henry.
He was definitely disappointed that he dropped to the second round. Only one running back went in the first. That was Ezekiel Elliott. But I think Derrick Henry has a chance to have a special NFL career. He's not just big and strong, has way better feet than he's ever been given credit for.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Terrence Knighton's nickname, Pot Roast, was given to him, and he didn't like it at first. Now he says, don't call me Terrence. Holds down the middle against anyone trying to run the football.
And he motions the wide receiver. Mariota. Got a man, it's right. It's a big play on third down for the Titans. 41 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
A first down carry for Henry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Here's the first carry now for the tailback, Roddy Hillman. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Coach hinted to us that we may see some old power football here in this game. We got a taste of it on that first down run.
I love how he hinted it to us. And then when we were watching practice, we were watching what they call inside drill with the offensive and defensive line. And they kept putting more defenders on the other side and saying, block that. I don't care how many guys are in there. I want to run the football this week. And, boy, it has paid off for them in this game.
Give him 4 on the carry there. It's 2nd and goal. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Six yards still to go here on 2nd and goal. Derrick Henry. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either call pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Third and goal. Mariota finding time. Buying time to his left. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. Here's Ryan Suckup for the Titan field goal. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. And Suckup will put this one right through. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So they come into enemy territory. Nice drive to start the game, but they probably wanted 6. They only got 3.
I agree with you totally. That's the expectation. When you get the ball and you start moving it and you're rolling, you think you're going to end up in the end zone. But they should be happy with the 3. A good way to get things going here in this game.
They come out here in the eye. On 1st and 10, it's Osweiler. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. And the quarterback, he's got some big threats at wideout.
And they seem to get bigger all the time, don't they, Brandon? Every time I look out and watch a game, we're getting these bigger, more athletic, acrobatic receivers. We have some today.
Again on 2nd and 10 now. It's Osweiler. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover. And when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
They'll throw on 1st down with Osweiler. He'll rifle this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. These guys told us, these guys being the coaches, they wanted to really stretch the field, get the ball down deep. They were able to do that here.
And you know when you stretch the field, you often leave guys in one-on-one situations, and that allows your better athletes to go up and get the football. I love the preparation that they put into this. They made it a priority, and they
try to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
And that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Throwing, Mariota. Over the middle this time to Fowler. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And they pick up a 1st down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college. With all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Nine yards still remaining here to pick up the 1st on 2nd down. Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. Looking deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Play fake to Henry. Now Mariota surveying the field. He's going to let it go again and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. So the Titans are forced to punt as Brett Kern is on to do the honors.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got a second down at 5 here to start things out. They'll come out in the pistol. On second down, here's Osweiler. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So 3rd and 5, 3rd and medium here. They isolate Hopkins on the left side.
All right, here we go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Osweiler. He's got the completion to Strong. And he's brought down after a good game. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height...
And he lost the football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And you would have to think an obvious passing situation here on 3rd and 9.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
To throw again is Osweiler. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Out come the Titans now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Mariota now on 2nd down. Amaro's got it, left side. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
They get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Mariota. Got a man at That's right. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. They come out here in the eye. On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Henry, the lone man in the backfield. He's going to get the football. And he gets it down to the 32. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They'll come out in the pistol. Mariota now to throw on 1st down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. Again, we'll see the pistol here. This is Hillman on 1st and 10. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play. So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. And looking at Houston defensively, they've got a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd. Mariota now looking for someone to throw to. And he comes back with one complete. That one good for 10 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Suckup will put this one right through, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
And now out comes Houston. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll throw on first down with Osweiler. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. On second down, Osweiler. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third.
Ready? Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Hey, watch the lane. Over. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. No. Check. Patriots. Patriots. No. Check. Patriots. Patriots. Watch it now, Barney.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Osweiler. He's got the completion to Strong. And now the offense operates in the red zone.
Detroit! All right, here we go. 3-19.
From the red zone now, here's Osweiler on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry, this is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay.
Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Hopkins on the grab over the middle. 23 yards on the play. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
12 yards on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Houston first down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Let's go! Green, 39! Green!
Throwing again, Osweiler. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Some pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
All right, here we go. 3-19!
On third down, Osweiler. Strong grabs it over the middle. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks.
How to be 6'7", be able to see over coverages into open windows. Brock Osweiler just did that with the slant route.
With that height, was also a great basketball player. Gonzaga, as you know, actually offered him a scholarship in high school for hoops.
Hard to believe he didn't take that, decided he wanted to play football, and ultimately chose Arizona State because of the direct flights from his hometown in Montana into Phoenix, Arizona.
Is that true?
That's a true story. Allowed his parents to come see him play a lot easier.
Second down following the run. Here comes the D swarming to the line.
Here we go now. Gun!
On second down, here's Osweiler. Underneath for Miller. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Set! Green, 39! Green!
From the gun, it's Osweiler. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job of limiting that and keeping him for the first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Maybe an anxious moment or two when the ball was on its way, but he does find a way to curl it in.
Oh, yeah, that one definitely hugged the left upright, but he got it to go.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. First down, Mariota. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. 23 yards on the play.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Mariota gives to Henry, and he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go?
And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sag. Brandon Dunn able to drop him for a loss of 4. And the O-line will have to do a better job protecting here on 3rd down after that sack. On 3rd down, Mariota under pressure, and they got to him again. Whitney merciless in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. This is taken at the 15. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Texans take possession. And now out comes Houston. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah, a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Now Osweiler on 2nd down. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. A good pickup there at 22.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Miller, the lone setback. And they'll give it to him here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter.
Here we go now.
They'll throw on 1st down with Osweiler. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Their big-bodied receiver. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans have retaken the lead. And his kick is right through. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Mariota on the delay to Henry. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Titan football here as they trail to begin the 4th quarter. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. He'll look to set up his blockers. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Down, Osweiler. Now the ball's out. Osweiler lost it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Miller, the lone setback.
Here we go now.
He'll get the football here. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a third and about 13. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he's got the completion to Hopkins. They get 14 yards there and a first down.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
So they run it on second down. Now let's see what third down brings here for the offense.
Hey, D-line, hurry up, here we go.
Out of the gun, it's Osweiler. Gets it to Strong. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And it'll be fourth down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the second time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And it'll be Titan football. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They come out here in the eye. Again, it's Henry. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game. On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run for it with Henry. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It'll be a 2-yard gain. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. So this offense really needs to make something happen here late in the 4th with the football. Mariota on first down. And over the middle here, Amaro. And he's brought down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Mariota hands to Henry. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. Another pistol look here. Back to the ground. This time it's Hillman. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
No matter what defense is called versus a running play, linebackers are telling the defensive guys up front, you take care of the offensive line, keep us uncovered, let us run to the ball, we'll make big plays. Well, that paid off there. All the guys up front, the big fellas, they controlled the 5 offensive linemen. That allowed the linebackers to see the openings, sprint through the gap, and snuff that play out in a hurry.
Rashard Matthews, the intended target, and it's 4th down.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me their fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a 3rd down attempt.
Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. Desperation time. Mariota on 4th down. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And now out comes Houston. They have the lead. Still a 1-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now. Just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know,
and the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
They come out here in the eye.
19.
Again, it's Miller. Shrugs the tackle.
nice.
And he is good. Now another timeout here called by the Titans. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, 1 broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
They got the completion, but they didn't get the first down. So you got to think if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're pretty happy with what you just accomplished there.
Yeah, like you said, got him out of bounds, stopped the clock, kept him short of the marker. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. 1 possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going.
A crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of